The first thing I want to share with you or welcome is who you are really as I see it right now, and that's the branch and district manager class of 2022. And I am saying that intentionally, and I know you might not be thinking that way necessarily right now. Most managers that I talked to weren't when they were assistant managers, thinking I'm all in to run an office next year. But I want to encourage you to act as if. And act as if that is going to be the case, that you are planning on opening up and running your own office. I encourage you to approach the summer that way, and I encourage you to approach the next 2 days that way, in an act as if mentality. I love that we passed 100 right as I started talking attendees. As Jacob said, please do hop on video. During this section, we're going to be getting you into groups of 3 a little bit later to share some things that you reflect on and journal on. So please do get on video and be ready to interact. I want to start off. We are going to be diving into some questions here. Tony Robbins said the quality of the questions you ask determine the quality of your life. And we're going to ask you some questions to kick things off today. Why is the theme of this opening session. Start with why. Why is, of course, a question, but we're going to ask you some other questions too and ask you to go a little bit deeper. And the reason we're doing this is because we know and believe in the power of experiential learning, because, as a species really, and as a world, we've reached for the first time in history a time where answers are no longer an indication of power, because anybody, any 6-year-old for that matter, can find the answer to any question they seek with a couple of clicks, or even just hey Siri or Alexa, give me the answer to this, right? And so questions for the first time in history are now actually more powerful than answers. And so we're going to dive into some questions here, and we're going to start off with the why behind your vector experience. And I'm going to share with you why, we're here from the region's perspective. Well, we're here to get you better at your job, so that, really 3 things happen. We want your experience to be enhanced. Okay. We want you to get better at your job so you can make more of your experience, make a bigger impact on the people you'll be serving, and also increase your compensation from a financial standpoint and also from a growth perspective. But let's dig in a little bit deeper here on, why you are really here both today and this summer. So you received a document, a workbook by email. I think it's also been dropped into the chat here. So go ahead and open that up. And what we want to see happen is we'd like to see you just fill out this first page here that says discovery. Okay, and we're going to start with discovery of your vector experience. So fill out this first page. I'll read the questions. In a minute, we're going to get into a little bit of a deeper question, and then we're going to have you pair up. But I'd like you to take about 4 minutes to answer the questions on this first page. And then I'm going to ask a few of you to share some of your thoughts surrounding these. So your vector experience. The first question I'd like you to answer is, what about working at Vector gives you the greatest sense of meaning, purpose, and/or fulfillment? And then secondly, how do you feel this will evolve through the summer? Okay, so as you see yourself progressing in your role as an assistant manager or sales manager, progressing in your leadership, how do you feel this will evolve? And then the last question to answer before we do a few group shares is, what is it about this event that is meaningful, important, or purposeful for you as an assistant manager? Why is it important for you to be here? And then what will you do to make this event as valuable as possible for you and for others? Okay, so I'm going to give you about 4 minutes on this first page. Journal as much as you can. And then once we're done with that, I'll ask a couple of people to share. And then there's a second question, deeper question on moments worth celebrating that we'll get to. And at that time, that's when we'll get you into groups of 3 to share some of your thoughts on that. So take about 4 minutes right now. I'll give you till 1:12, and just jot down some answers to these initial 3 questions. Let's go ahead and have a few people share. I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulty getting that document into the chat. But you were all emailed this document. Again, it's the workbook. But I think if either Jen or Cindy could paste the copy and paste the questions into the chat, that would help as well for anyone that doesn't have access. But you should all have access. It was emailed to you just a little while ago, maybe a little over an hour ago. You would have received the document. Thanks, Gerald. Appreciate it. Would love to have a couple of people share thoughts on really any of these first three questions. Is there anyone that would like to volunteer to share?
I can share.
That'd be great. Thank you. Who's that?
Allison.
Allison, awesome. There you are. Thanks, Allison.
Hi. So in regard to specifically like fulfillment, the first thing that came to mind was just the fact that we've gone through so many years of formal education and learning about, specific skills and which skills are a good asset to have in different areas of life. But working at Vector actually gives you the chance to put that into play and to learn through experience, which I think is really valuable. And so my goal for the summer is just to like fine tune those specific skills and just feel like I've accomplished, something bigger than just learning about certain skills and actually having like something, I don't know, tangible to go along with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thank you so much for sharing, Allison. Appreciate it. Nick, did you want to share?
Yeah, I think the meaning, it's the Vector experience. It's a great one. I have no complaint with it. It's but to me, it's all about helping the newer reps get the best of the best in other people's hands and getting the best cutlery in all people's homes for years and years to come, man.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Nick. How about one more? Oh, Evan Gray, would you like to share?
Yeah, I want to echo what Nick said. The value that we get in being able to build up other reps is huge, especially since we all came from that new rep position. It's great to be able to sit there with the rep and be like, I know what it feels like to not have people to call. Let me work with you.
Awesome. Thanks, Evan. Love your background, by the way. Looks great. Awesome. Cool. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate that. And let's go ahead and move on to the next section, which dives a little more specifically into, I think, what all three of you are talking about here, which gives you meaning and purpose. And it's moments worth celebrating. Here, I can go back to sharing my screen here. Moments worth celebrating. And so I'll read from the workbook here. Actually, before I do that, let me give one more attempt at getting this into the chat. Well, I guess that just doesn't want to work. So get it from your email. All right, I'll share this again. I think most everyone does have it. Okay, so what we'd like you to do is reflect on all your moments and memories at Vector and connect to 2 or 3 specific moments, stories, or examples that are truly worth celebrating. Moments that upon reflection give you the greatest sense of purpose, of pride, and positivity. And what I'd like you to do as you reflect on these moments is answer the question, what qualities did you bring to these moments? And then what did others bring to those moments? So take some time here on this second page and just describe 2 or 3 moments worth celebrating with detail. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to write out your story or stories of moments worth celebrating. And we'll then put you into groups of 3 to just quickly share your stories. We'll give you about 2 minutes each to share. As you're listening, be an active listener during that, and then we'll have you take notes on the story and restate it to them. But again, start off just with about 5 minutes of writing out your stories of moments worth celebrating. So I'll give you 1 till 1:21 for writing out your moments here. If we can get some music going, that'd be great. As you begin to wrap up here, you can write down your final couple of thoughts. We're going to break you into groups of 3. And what we'd like you to do is just share your story or moment worth celebrating. And then also, what you brought to those moments, what qualities you brought to those moments, and also what qualities others brought to those moments. And then, as you're listening, be an active listener and take notes and make an attempt to reflect back to them, what you're noticing. And maybe there are additional qualities that you see that they may have brought to those moments, those stories, those situations. So let's see, we're going to have about 2 minutes each to share. And then once you're done sharing, move on to the next person. And then we will reconvene here in just about 6 minutes. We'll give you an extra minute there just for buffer. So let's go ahead and move into breakouts. Hey, great stuff. I hope you either discovered something new about yourself or remembered something true, and of course also connected with somebody new as well. Would love to hear from a couple of people who would like to share something that you either learned internally or learned about someone else during that exercise. Maybe 3 or 4 shares this time.
I can go ahead and share, Matthew. I don't know if you were sharing yet.
Maya, go ahead. That'd be great.
Sure, thanks. So I'm a M, and I thought it was cool that she was already an AM now, and she was a 10K fast starter. And she'd only been working for like 2 months now, so that's crazy. Like I thought I was quick, working here for only 4 months, but that just kind of shows like her character. I don't even know her that well, but being promoted after 2 months, that definitely shows something about your drive and your character. So awesome job, Em.
Awesome. Thanks, Maya. That's great. Let's see, Eric.
Yeah, so I was with Jake Hamburg and Will Moss. Jake's told a really cool story about how he had his 10K start. And even after Danny Lewis called him, congratulated him, but convinced him to push himself even more his last couple of days. Sold 2.5 more K worth of knives. So taught him kind of to never settle, to keep pushing yourself. You can always do more than you think. And Will also told a really cool story about his first time selling to someone he's never met before. The fact that you don't need to know someone to sell them knives. People will buy knives. Work on your chicken list. Try to get all those people there. You can sell to anyone. So cool stories there.
That's excellent. And then were there any specific, sorry to put you on the spot here, but were there specific qualities you felt like either one of your partners brought to the table during those times?
Definitely persistence. Keep pushing yourself, be determined to be the best version no matter what. Don't settle. And Will's is obviously don't be scared, have some confidence. Everyone's nervous, but reach out to those people that you think won't want to do a demo with you, because you never know what can happen.
For sure. Love that. Awesome. Thanks, Eric. Jordan.
Hey, guys. I would say one of the first things that comes to mind is going to my first dreams retreat exercise. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but Dan Espigard was my manager when I first started in Minneapolis, and he has an activity every year where you're able to just sit down and just reflect on what you want to do and what you want to like accomplish in life and places you want to go. And I think that it is just amazing to be able to just take the time to just sit down and think about all those things. And I can't really think of like any other job that would allow you to do that. So it's just awesome to create a list for yourself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks for sharing, Jordan. Appreciate it. Very cool. Eric mentioned the chicken list, and Mike Muriel threw up in the chat. Make sure to watch Mike King's video that we sent out on building your names list and chicken list specifically. Fantastic stuff. So thanks. Rachel.
Hi, thank you. So I don't want to use the word vague, but really what our group came together with is how important it is that our managers are there for us. All of our stories were revolved around how our managers really encouraged us to move forward. When we were down, I personally have had a 40-minute phone call with my manager to build me back up. And it's really important to care. And we all really appreciate the care from the managers because it's so genuine, it's so helpful, and it's taken a lot of us out of bad places and helped us feel important and helpful. So that was an awesome takeaway that we all got.
Cool. Thanks, Rachel. And you know what? you are that person for someone or many this summer. You will be that person. And that's, when you become the person that someone else leans on for that type of support and that type of help, that's a whole nother really job that you're doing, and a company that you're even working with when you have that level of influence. So I'm excited for you to experience that side of it this summer. So thanks for sharing, Rachel. Let's do two more. We'll go Xavier and then Katie.
Okay, one thing I learned about, I believe his name was Jack. He told me about like on his fast start how he was not selling full sets. He was selling like lists and everything. And he was telling me about like how he was down about it. And he talked to his manager, and his manager called him up or talked to him, and he said, "This is going to be the one. This next appointment right here. This is going to be the one where you sell a set." And next thing you know, he sold a kitchenette set. And that was just really cool to me. It shows how, like she said before, your managers really help you out. And then when I reflected on myself, I thought about like the time that I got on stage and did stand up at a Vector event. Like I was so happy that I actually like tears came out of my eyes. I was so excited and ecstatic. So yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Xavier. And, your manager's belief in you, or our manager's belief in all of us, has gotten us through a lot in our careers. And your belief in people this summer will do the same. So thanks for that. And by the way, love like lists. Those are fantastic orders. Sets, like lists, piece orders are great too. I like all orders. But I do like the concept there of the manager believing in the rep, and you guys will do that this summer. Let's see. Lastly here, Katie.
Yeah, I just want to say my biggest takeaway from talking to the couple people I got to talk to is that it feels like we're all in the same position where we all have a lot to overcome. And all of us are very courageous for doing this job. We're all being put out of our comfort zone. And our coaches are definitely there to help. And you can see that in everyone that you talk to. And I just want to be one of those people that can help other people overcome their doubts, their fears, their anxieties. And that's something that I've learned from talking to everyone else.
Very, very beautifully said, and a great way to wrap this up. It does take a lot of courage to do what you all are doing, and it's incredibly rewarding, the work that you're engaging in this summer. The reason I had you do this exercise is a couple of reasons. Number one, your ability to tell a story is going to help you be a better assistant manager this summer. And on the flip side, your ability to listen to others is going to help you be a better assistant manager. But the different things that you found through these stories, whether it be, believing in a rep, or being there, giving time to a rep, or, perseverance, stick-to-itiveness, and continuing down the path until achievement is there. Those are the traits that you all admire in yourself and others. And being an AM is really going to give you an opportunity to better hone and develop those traits that you admire in your managers that you've already had, and that maybe you've recognized in yourselves in your career so far with Vector. And then the last thing I wanted to leave you with here is why you, right? So there's a lot of reasons why your time with Vector has been important and meaningful, and why, being an assistant manager this summer really matters. But I think it's also important to, remind yourself, why you are up for the challenge here. And you have an opportunity this summer to really change a life, or to change, many lives, tens, maybe even hundreds of lives this summer. The people that walk through your doors this summer, just like you were when you came in, are hungry for leadership, and they're hungry for a new challenge. And so I just want to kind of leave you with, as we embark in this event, the work that you're doing really matters. And the people that you serve, are going to be, their lives are going to be enhanced, not just by their sales skills, but I really truly believe, based on the stories that we're hearing here, is that the lives of the people that you serve this summer are going to be enhanced because of the work that you do. And the work matters not only to them, but to the communities in which you reside, because of the effect that those reps will have on that community, to the customers that will get those products that are going to last them a lifetime. The work you're doing also matters to your network of family and friends. And, by extrapolation, the work you're doing this summer matters to the world, but mostly it matters to you. And so take it seriously, but then also, of course, remember to have fun too, because I think it's really important to have fun as we embark on what's going to be the biggest challenge that you've ever, gone through in your life, but also the most rewarding. So thank you guys very much. I really appreciate your involvement, and that's all I got.